Karen Huger sentenced after DUI case. Karen Huger has been sentenced to 1 year in jail after being found guilty of multiple charges related to driving under the influence. Per Fox 5 DC, Karen was sentenced to 2 years in jail with 1 year suspended. Karen Huger told me she is at peace with this decision. She is happy to have this part of the process behind her, her lawyer, David Martella, said in a statement to reporters. Because of her work in recovery over the last few months, she feels she is the healthiest she has been in several years. She is prepared to get through this, she will get through this, and she looks forward to a brighter day. The sentencing took place on February 26, a little under a year after the Real Housewives of Potomac cast member got in a single-car accident in Maryland in March 2024. She was later charged with a DUI and DUI, driving while intoxicated, as well as other charges related to speeding, reckless driving, driving with suspended registration, and for failing to report a change of address to the Maryland Motor Vehicle Administration. Karen was ultimately found guilty on all of the above charges except driving recklessly. Her 2-day trial concluded on December 19, and her sentencing was initially scheduled for January 29 until it was delayed. Karen Huger reacts to her guilty verdict. Just 12 hours after she was found guilty, Karen sat down with a producer from RHOP to share her immediate thoughts. "My heart dropped," she admitted in a clip that played at the RHOP Season 9 reunion, which she did not attend. "This is very frightening, but I accept full responsibility for everything that went on with my car accident. I don't care about me right now. I care about my children. I care about my family. They are so hurt. I know a lot of young children look up to me right now. They call me Auntie Karen, the Grand Dame. Do as I say, not as I do." Why did Karen Huger skip the RHOP Season 9 reunion? Karen's manager, Ryan Tresdale, released an exclusive statement about Karen's absence to Briefing on Bravo. Karen made the important decision to enter a private recovery program, so was unable to attend the reunion taping today, Ryan said. She was fully supported in this choice. "We stand behind Karen as she embarks on this meaningful journey and are proud of her for taking such a significant step forward in her personal growth." Karen Huger's message for her RHOP castmates at the Season 9 reunion. Karen also addressed her absence in a message to her castmates, which played at the beginning of Part 1 of the reunion. Ladies, as you notice, I'm not there. I am going away to a treatment center to address taking antidepressants and drinking," she began. "I want to get to the bottom of it, but I would be remiss if I didn't take this time to thank those who truly touched my heart through this process." Karen went on to thank Giselle Bryant for putting a special note in her flowers that read, "One step at a time." She also praised Kyrana Stewart for always saying that she would handle things as best as she could, as well as Jassy Rideau for sending her special notes that touched her heart. "I plan to be coming back as Karen Huger only, because Karen is enough," she concluded in her video message. Karen Huger sentenced after DUI case, a journey of redemption. The courtroom was filled with hushed whispers as Karen Huger, the beloved Grand Dame of the Real Housewives of Potomac, RHOP, walked solemnly into the witness stand. The eyes of the public and the media were all fixed on her, as the sentencing hearing in February 2025 marked the beginning of a new chapter in the life of the woman who had spent years navigating the highs and lows of reality television fame. But the court's decision on that fateful day was not one of celebration or triumph. It was a moment of reckoning for Karen, one she had long feared but knew was inevitable. The charges: in March of the previous year, Karen had been involved in a single-car accident in Maryland. It was a chilly evening, and the road ahead had been deceptively slick. The crash occurred on a residential street, where the vehicle veered off course and struck a telephone pole. Initially, it was believed to be a simple accident, an unfortunate mistake, a momentary lapse in judgment. However, as investigations proceeded, the truth began to surface. Karen had been driving under the influence. She was charged with DUI, driving under the influence, and DUI, driving while intoxicated. Alongside these, additional charges were filed for speeding, reckless driving, driving with a suspended registration, and failure to report a change of address to the Maryland Motor Vehicle Administration. The reality of the situation hit Karen hard. She knew she had let down not only her fans and family, but herself. A legal battle ensued, with the courtroom drama unfolding over several months. The two-day trial concluded in December 2024, with Karen being found guilty on all charges except for reckless driving. Her sentence was initially scheduled for January 2025, but delays postponed it until February 26, 2025. It was then that Karen's fate was sealed, 2 years in jail, with 1 year of that sentence suspended. This meant that Karen would serve 1 full year behind bars, marking the culmination of a long and painful journey. Karen's reaction: a mixed bag of emotions. After the verdict was handed down, the media turned their attention to Karen. As the camera zoomed in, her lawyer, David Martella, made a statement to reporters. Karen Huger told me she is at peace with this decision. She is happy to have this part of the process behind her, he said. Because of her work in recovery over the last few months, she feels she is the healthiest she has been in several years. She is prepared to get through this, and she will get through this, and she looks forward to a brighter day. Yet for Karen, this was not a moment of peace. The reality of her situation set in the moment she was alone, away from the public gaze. My heart dropped, she confessed hours later to a producer from RHOP as they sat down to discuss the immediate aftermath of the verdict. Her emotions were raw. This is very frightening, but I accept full responsibility for everything that went on with my car accident, Karen admitted, her voice trembling with vulnerability. I don't care about me right now. I care about my children. I care about my family. They are so hurt. I know a lot of young children look up to me right now. They call me Auntie Karen, the Grand Dame. Do as I say, not as I do. Her words reflected the deep sense of guilt she was carrying. In that moment, Karen was not the reality television star the world knew her as. She was a mother, a daughter, and a friend, torn by the knowledge that her actions had caused pain to those she loved most. Absence from RHOP Season 9 reunion. As the RHOP cast prepared for the Season 9 reunion, fans were shocked to learn that Karen would not be in attendance. In an exclusive statement released by her manager, Ryan Tresdale, it was confirmed that Karen had made the important decision to enter a private recovery program. Karen made the important decision to enter a private recovery program, so was unable to attend the reunion taping today, Ryan explained. She was fully supported in this choice. We stand behind Karen as she embarks on this meaningful journey and are proud of her for taking such a significant step forward in her personal growth. This decision was not one made lightly. Karen knew that in order to truly heal, she needed to step away from the cameras, from the pressures of public life, and face her inner demons head-on. It was a brave move, one that demonstrated her commitment to recovery, even if it meant stepping out of the spotlight temporarily. During the reunion, a video message from Karen was played for her castmates. The words she spoke resonated deeply, not only with her RHOP family, but with viewers who had witnessed her struggles for years. "Oak ladies, as you notice, I'm not there. I am going away to a treatment center to address taking antidepressants and drinking," Karen began, her voice steady but filled with emotion. "I want to get to the bottom of it, but I would be remiss if I didn't take this time to thank those who truly touched my heart through this process." She went on to thank Giselle Bryant, one of her longtime castmates, for the special note she had included with a bouquet of flowers, one step at a time. It was a simple yet meaningful gesture that had brought Karen comfort during a time when she needed it most. Kyrana Stewart always said she would handle things as best as she could, and Jassy Rideau sent me special notes that touched my heart, Karen continued. I plan to be coming back as Karen Huger only because Karen is enough. For Karen, this statement was a declaration of her commitment to reclaiming her identity, not as the Grand Dame of Potomac, not as the reality star, but as Karen, a woman who had made mistakes but was determined to rise above them. The road to recovery. Karen's path to redemption was not an easy one. In the months following her sentencing, she entered an intensive recovery program, focusing on both her mental health and her struggle with alcohol. Her lawyer, David Martella, was vocal about how committed she was to this process, noting that Karen had been making significant strides in her recovery.